Oh, Sheila.
Hey, Javier.
Hey, Sheila.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Atlanta. Good morning, East Coast. Good morning, live studio, virtual studio of the Daily Huddle. Good morning, those of you who join us on Facebook. Thank you for being here every morning, Monday through Friday, to get us started on the right note, as they say. Right? There is something called the right note. I don't know if there is such a thing as the right note, but there is a right note to get started, and that's how we start here at the Daily Huddle, where we say the way you start your day gives you the rest of your day. The way that you live each day gives you the rest of your life. So there's something powerful about starting your day powerfully. And at the Daily Huddle, we're committed to that. My name is Giovanni Gonzalez, and it's always a pleasure and an honor to introduce America's executive coach, a friend of mine who has made a profound difference in the life of many, many businesses and many lives around the world, Mr. Saurel Quettan. Good morning, Saurel.
Good morning, Giovanni. Good morning. It's always a pleasure to be introduced by the #1 transformational leadership coach, my friend and business partner, Giovanni Gonzalez, who brings to us today somebody we get to fight over to see who gets to introduce Javi. Javier, I want to acknowledge you for being, you know, like the source of transformation for the Hispanic community in all of Southeast, you know, and the entire Southeast of the United States. Like literally, when I hear your name, that's what I hear. I hear 10 million people transformed, and it's all because you were there. And I can't wait to hear what you're sharing with us this morning. So Giovanni, I'm sending it back to you to introduce Javier officially.
Yes, absolutely. Today, it's a real pleasure for me, a real honor. Javier is someone who has made a huge difference in my life and in my leadership, and in many ways. My life has evolved in a particular way because Javier just allowed himself to tolerate me for so long and make a difference to my life, right? I want to say just a few things about Javi, and it's just a small introduction to the opportunity that his life is to so many of us, right? Javier Silva is an insurance and income tax business franchise owner and self-improvement training advocate, and with over a decade of experience in the auto and business insurance market, as well as an avid participant in self-growth forums and leadership training programs. His leadership for me has been, I can't say enough, and you can't really put your finger on the impact that it has been in my life, given that every time I get to lead a seminar, a course, a leadership course, I get to call Javi and I tell him, okay, so this is what I'm dealing with in my life. And Javier does his kind of magic to have me be clear and be a space for people to be able to see their lives. And that's who Javier is for my life and for so many. Javier, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us today. And today's question that he's going to get us started on a question called, how do you effectively communicate with your family, with all the different point of views, with all the different background? How do you communicate, unify them to become a family in action, to become a purpose-driven family? Javier, good morning.
Good morning. Oh my God, what an introduction. Thank you guys so much. What an honor to be here and part of your creation, Giovanni. I'm always a fan of your work, and I don't know, be part of this. It means a lot. Thank you for the invitation. So I'm gonna tell you what's been going on. It's like a little story. What it really start everything that I'm creating with my family during this pandemic. This lockdown, has affected all of us. And I have family in Mexico, here in different cities. And just to start, we are sort of like family that we do a family reunion every year. We go to a trip, and some of us we can make it, some of us we cannot. So that being said, we have groups in WhatsApp groups. So we have a big WhatsApp group of the whole family, like my aunts, my uncles, my nephews, my nieces, and some of us we participate like happy birthday. It's very the communication is very casual. So and then I have another group with my brothers and sisters, which is we are six of us, and we are very, there's a lot of love, and we're sort of tied and everything. So during the pandemic, something amazing really took over and it really surprised us. And what happened is that one of my sisters, she says, how about that we read a book, all of us, the brothers and sisters. And I said, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Let's do it. But I don't think, the six of us, maybe you and I and two more will join. And so he says, okay, let's do it. Let's pick the four agreements. So we picked this book, the four agreements. And I say, well, how about we make the invitation to this have like a book club. We call it like, I assuming it's gonna be like a book club, right? And I said, how about we put the invitation to the main group with the whole family. Let's do it. So I get all inspired and excited, and I make this voicemail, and I say like, this pandemic, let's talk about something that really help us, all of us, And all of a sudden, like, 17 people join in. 17 of my family members and my nephews and my cousins, and I started to get overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my God, it's a bunch of people. How are we gonna deal with this? And the first thing that came to my mind is that, I'm gonna contact my friends, and one of them, she says, how about you do it like a mini seminar, like a mini project, pick a name, do like, like take it on, So I contact two of my sisters, which they like all this growth and development, and some of them are more advanced than others. And let's create a name, let's create a vision, let's create a structure, and let's go ahead and do it, right? So one of the things that really was there for us is that there is Mormons, there is Christians, there's Catholics, there's Jewish, and some of us were gay people. I mean, it's like a big point of views, right? So how are we gonna get them all together to join something, to really be aware and to stick for it for a whole book, right? So we started creating a structure, and we came up with a name. And we came with a name, we call it Families in Action. And our mission is to Giovanni, I'm gonna say in Spanish, tú lo traduces for me, you translate it for me, is we created the name, my two sisters and I, is Families in Action, and is combatir barreras de comunicación para elevar nuestra autoexpresión, which she translates to, go ahead, Gio.
I would say it to combatir, like fight the difference
barriers of communication.
The difference barriers in communication to become what?
To elevate our self-expression.
To elevate our self-expression. To
right.
fight the barriers.
For a moment, I didn't get it when I'm speaking. Like I get so excited and like.
Let me say it again.
I ask for somebody to translate.
Yeah, let me say it again. I really like it. To fight the barriers of communication. To elevate
our self-expression.
Our self-expression. Oh, I
And
like it.
when I meet to self-expression, and this is how we explained it to the whole family, is like self-expression for us is everything, right? Is allow yourself to be vulnerable, to speak up when you need to speak up, to ask for forgiveness, or stand up for what you feel that is right. You know, our self-expression means, you know, from that context, we set the vision. So we go ahead and we just do it, and you know, we create this mission, this structure, and something amazing started to happen. The first thing, you know, because I don't know if some of you are familiar with this book, with the Four Agreements, and sometimes it's very romantic, and it talks about religions and things like that, and I'm like, oh God, this is gonna be like, you know, because so, the family members that I have, some of them are really big leaders in their organizations. So the conversation started, and it was, I mean, it was inevitable that it was going to happen. So they say, well, you know, they started talking and debating a little bit, and you know, some of them, they mentioned their religion, and the other ones like, no, but my religion is that. So what I've seen in all the courses that I have taken in seminars is how they you know, there's nothing wrong if you related what you're learning to your faith. And I said, you know, this is just perfect what's happening. So we are really marrying what you know, and you are you know, putting you marrying what you know with the book, you know, and with no conflict, you know. One of the other things in that same token is that at the beginning of the conversations about the book, we said that anything that we say or that we're gonna discuss about the book is not the truth. So that sort of gave us a lot of freedom for them to really, you know, to take whatever they want, and to don't, whatever they don't want, they just don't take it. And there is an analogy that I use that is like when somebody's getting coaching, when you have a life coach, you know, the way I look at it is that they throw to you hats, and they give you a big hat, a purple hat, a yellow hat, a humongous hat, a small hat, a baseball cap, and they just tell you, try it on, and whichever fits, great, and the one that doesn't fit, you don't have to take it away. So we put that context in the meetings that we have about the book, and the magic started happening, with the little structure that we created, how we're gonna do it. Before we talk about the chapter of the book, we give them two distinctions or tools to the family, you know, like being intentional, integrity, the way to share. Every meeting that we have, we give them two of them. So we just did it like that, and the most amazing thing that happens is that everybody started sharing related to the book, their lives. And we started discovering, I don't know, like for one example, one of my aunts, she's like the life of the party, and she's very happy. I mean, always. And you really don't think that she will be very insightful, or, you know, I mean, we're like, my aunt, she's just amazing, but we never got to meet her in another ways. So all of a sudden, my aunt is like, she has right on point. She's so like, every time she shares, we're like waiting for it. So we are discovering each other in a way that we didn't know each other. And since my niece that is 15 years old to my mom that she's 72, we are, it's so funny because we are, I don't know, we got very surprised, and like my sisters called me like, oh my God, this is amazing. I didn't know so-and-so is dealing with this, and how we managed the conversation. And we, and I said, let's make a celebration. Let's make a graduation of the book. And my two sisters, the one that are co-leading it with me, let's do a certificate. With the certificate for all of them, and let's make a toast and tell them to let's get whatever drink. So, all of my nephews, they have like their orange soda, some of them have like little wine, whatever, And I'm telling you, where it's 6 different cities, different times and everything. It's really funny. And I say, how about you bring a guest, in the meeting, bring a guest, because the key of it is to transform your environment. So, okay, we're waiting, and then now we are 34 people in the in the meeting. So we call it, we're gonna register for the next book. Now we have 29 people registered. Tomorrow we start the first chapter of we already give them the book. They already the first and second chapter, and we're 29 people, now for the one tomorrow. So it's something that we didn't plan. It's something that it just came from an idea. But the coolest thing is that the communication has increased, because we've been interviewing my cousins, my sisters, my brothers, and it's just so, I mean, the whole family now it's in there, in some of them. It's just, I don't know, I cannot believe how I always had a dream, that my brothers and my sisters, we get to these type of conversations, transformational learning, where like you get inspired and you get leadership and all that. But it's like, it's really had impacted my nieces, my nephews, my uncles, my aunts. At one point, I was so mesmerized by what's happening, and we still cannot even believe it. I don't know, we are getting to know each other in a way that we didn't know, So that's been happening for a month and a half. And really, this is with the pandemic. I don't know, I feel very blessed that I have all this training with a lot of people here in this meeting. I see amazing leaders that I've been learning from you guys, which is Sheila, James, Saurel, Giovanni, and many others. But it really, I found a platform, with my family, where everything that I learned to bring it together. So I don't know, I'm just very happy, and I get so excited. I still cannot believe it, what's going on. I never thought that one of the things that is so cool is that one of my aunts, she never touched a book in her life. So we pick books that are easy to read, like are generical, self-improve, and we make sure that they are on YouTube. So she's so excited because she never read a book in her life, and we have from everywhere. Some of them they have masters, and some of them they have like really little scholar, school education, and different ages. And I don't know, but the most beautiful thing is that it's different religions and faiths. So I don't know, I'm just so excited, and I just, Giovanni asked me like, you need to share this with us, and so that's why I'm here. So thank you, Gio.
Javier, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I can only imagine all the relatedness that you had to create over the years to have your family show up to a phone call, right? Rather than ignore the possibility of that phone call. So I'm sure there is a lot to say about that, but so that we get a little bit of a piece of you, we're going to open up the room for some questions for you. So the first one will be Sheila. Sheila, go ahead.
Hi, Javier.
Hey, darling, how are you?
I'm great. It's so good to see you. I'm just thrilled. I just have a comment. This was so awesome. Like a whole new possibility for our family. And during this pandemic, for real, there's nothing like family. It's a time to be closer to our loved ones. And I just want to thank you so much for the contribution you just gave to me, and I'm sure many others on the call. And you're just so happy. The happiness and fulfillment that it brings, Yes. So thank you so much, Javier.
My pleasure, and thank you, because I learned so much from you through so many years. Like really, this is a result of a lot of friends, and like, when you surround yourself with cool people and good people that really contribute you. I don't know, you're so big part of it. So this happened because of you as well. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sheila. Go ahead, Adriana.
Good morning, my friend. The question is, how did you select the book? And if you use Google Book or something like that so people could read it in different parts of the world?
Thank you. That's a great question. You know, I'm not a big reader. I usually do audiobooks. But I ask friends, I ask Giovanni, I ask my friend Angela, which is big in leadership. I'm like, which book? And we have a lineup of 3 books already. And I just ask, you know, which book do you think is sort of generic in a way, like not too into the spiritual side or not too, you know, because we have from all ages and from all different school education levels. I don't know if I said that right. So I don't know, I'll give you a whole list, but we'll make sure that it's in YouTube, because some of them, they might not have like access, somebody. Yeah, there is a bunch of books, and we are looking about other 3 books after these 3. So there are a lot. And the cool thing is that all these books that we pick is that they have a lot of teachings, you know? And to me, they are the same. So, I mean, you know, teachings that we see in a bunch of seminars, they are the same, they just say in a different way. So we just guide the conversation through those books, but just make sure to pick a book that has a lot of teachings or distinctions on tools. Giovanni, you are in mute.
Yes, thank you, Javi. Thank you, Adriana, for the question. And Latoya had a comment. Go ahead, Latoya.
Hello. Thank you so much, Javi. I do appreciate it. I was wondering whether or not my family was the only one meeting continuously on Zoom, but it's good to know that we weren't alone. We didn't think about a book club. We actually worked out together. And it was a very uplifting experience. One of my aunts went through chemotherapy the beginning of this year, and it was all of us, you know, encouraging her to be active, as well as getting to see the fitness levels of us across the board was hilarious. Mm-hmm. And this is all over the U.S., 5 different states. And we got together every weekday and did a YouTube workout video, and that was our way of interacting with each other. And then we expanded it to actually cooking together on Sundays. Awesome. But I didn't think anything about reading a book with them. I had actually told them I needed a break, but
you know, this is so funny that you say that, because we starting to have the meetings, and it was kind of like that. It was so much fun. We did sketches. Some of us we like singing, so we sing. We celebrate birthdays, but at one point was like, this is getting like, you know, like conversations that really matter. What about that we guide them to distinctions and tools that are really gonna be useful? And I'm not saying that the other thing is wrong. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's so awesome what you're doing and what we're doing, but this really is something else. I mean, you're gonna start seeing your family. The thing is that it's not about the book. It's what they get to share. It's for who they get to be when they are talking about whatever tools. You know, there's a tool in the 4 agreements that it says, you know, be impeccable with your words. You know, and it's just so amazing how my niece is talking like, you know, I noticed when I talk to my mom, and the other day, like in front of everybody, it's like, it's so cool. I don't know, pick a book. You don't have to have like the big leadership tool skills or whatever, but just try it on. And
absolutely, yeah. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Javi. And thank you, Latoya, for the comment. Corina.
Hi, Javier.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
First of all, I love listening to you sharing about gathering your family, and mine's kind of like a comment and question. I actually created a family Zoom call before the pandemic, and everyone was kind of like, I get 1 or 2 people. And then once the pandemic started, you know, they were like, you know, you were way ahead of the curve, you know? And so they're so into it now. And people have said things like, you know, we're more related to each other. We talk more now than we ever did before, you know? And being a part of people moving cross country, all of that. And I thought I'd just share one thing that we do sometimes is we do garden tours. A lot of us are big gardeners. So we like take our phone outside and we share like what we're growing, and then what's happening in the yard or the house. And then and we did our Sunday night. We did, I shared some poetry. I started writing poetry again. So we, and then we started sharing artwork. And then, so next time we decided we're going to do different themes, like to have a topic to talk about, like sharing art or sharing something you've created or something that's meaningful to you. And so that's been kind of fun. But I love what you did about the 4 agreements. And I missed the question part after all that sharing. Question part is, did you say that it was on YouTube or on audiobooks or something like that? No,
we pick a book that we make sure is in YouTube. So they have easy access. So, you know, tomorrow, so we send them a message. Remember, tomorrow we're going to do first 2 chapters from minute whatever, from minute 0 to minute 22 in the video. You know, I make sure that we send them the correct video, because there are so many video and analysis about the book. We just do it like that. And I don't know, but I really acknowledge you as well as Latoya. You know, it's really, I don't know, like you said, it's so funny because in the pandemic we got closer, but with the book and all this teaching, it's like you're gonna be amazed if you get to do it. I mean, I don't know, anybody can do it. And even if it's only 3 people, even if it's only 4 people, who cares? I mean, I have amazing brothers and sisters that they are so engaging, you know, but we are 29 tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be our first, you know, and we don't know how it's going to happen. We started thinking big things. And we also, we don't invite family only. We're starting to invite, you know, other people. One of my customers says, like, when are you going to do it in English? I'm like, I don't know, but, you know, because it's a little overwhelming in a way, in a good way. So anyway, but I acknowledge you for that, Karina. That's awesome work too.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. It's so great to see you.
Me too.
All right, well, awesome. We're almost up on the hour, on the half of the hour, and we have 2 more questions. And then I was wondering, Saurel, do you have anything to add, any comment to share?
Let's take the 2 questions and then we'll wrap it up with an amazing invitation to the Daily Huddle family.
Very good. Go ahead, Ronald.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Javier. I was just wanted to show this on the screen. This is a little bookmark that I got a couple years ago from, some of you know, Phoebe, and this is the 4 agreement. And I never really read the book, but the bookmark has been very helpful. So I'm definitely gonna go ahead and pick up the book and possibly do that with my family. Thank you.
Why not? 1 or 2 family, that's great. It's a great book. It's a great book.
I got it. It's been on my desk, hanging on my wall for a long time. But you, for the first time I pulled it off the wall, I said, "Wow, this is that good." Thank you.
That's great.
That was my comment.
That's all right. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you, Ronald. Thank you so much. Yeah. Go ahead, Mary Campbell.
Well, I just had one very quick question. Will you adopt me?
Definitely. As soon as I learn in English, you'll be the first one to know. Definitely. Like, it's really cool because it's just, you know, it's 40 minutes. It's not even long. Crazy about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Javi, I invite you to consider inviting Mary even to the Spanish sessions.
Awesome, Mary. Sure.
You know, it's the way you're being and the way I imagine your family is during those conversations is beyond language. You know, like I really don't need to speak Spanish to get creative. Right? So it's amazing. So invite the world, China,
Yes.
Hindu, you know, just let them come. Adopt all of them.
Thank you, Saurel.
Adopt
Thank
me
you so
too.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Giovanni, we want to acknowledge the presence of Latoya, Mary Campbell, and others who are here for the first time. It's great to see the family growing. And Giovanni and I created this, and we want to not only expand the family, but expand the difference that we make together. So on the 28th of August, Giovanni and I will start the very first installation of Access the Leader Within. It's a 3-day leadership workshop that Giovanni created and that we lead together and dance inside of the context of that conversation to create more of what the Daily Huddle provides for a bigger audience over an extended period of time. 3 days, all virtual. You can invite the world, even if you don't speak English. It'll be in English, Javier. And Giovanni and I are both inviting you to invite your friends, invite your family members, assist us in growing the Daily Huddle family, and join us for a 3-day conversation starting the 28th, on the 29th, and the 30th. It's Access the Leader Within, and every bit of information you need to connect, register yourself is available at accesstheleaderwithin.com. Go there and plug in. And to create the conversation over time, Giovanni and I are also leading lunch and learn sessions as well as evening sessions on a bi-weekly basis in English. So starting this Wednesday, which is today, at 12:30 p.m., we have a lunch and learn. And that conversation is entitled How to Manage and Even Eliminate Stress and Anxiety in Life and in Business. And next week, on Monday evening at 7 p.m. and on Wednesday during lunch, starting at 12:30 p.m., we're doing the same conversation. And then from then on, every other week until the 28th of August, we'll be doing that. All in the name of creating, expanding, sharing the conversation, and growing the family. And we'd love for all of you to be there. So accesstheleaderwithin.com, as well as turningpoint.expert. 2 separate conversations. So love seeing you here. Love having you on the Daily Huddle. Tomorrow morning, Giovanni, who's going to facilitate the Daily Huddle?
Tomorrow morning, we're going to have Andrea Villa. Andrea, say hi.
Good morning, everyone.
Beautiful. Andrea is going to be facilitating the huddle tomorrow morning. So we want to make sure that we show up, that we give her a lot of love, and we have a phenomenal conversation in one way or another. I will try to jump in. I'll be with a few clients, but maybe not. It will be Andrea and your show. So Javier, thank you so much for being here today. What are your last words?
You know, anybody can do it. I mean, even if it's 1 or 2 people in your family, it's really worth to have conversations that, you know, make us think and like really get there and take action, you know. The name of we put a name is called Families in Action, because many families in action is take that action, you know. So thank you for your time, and I love everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Javi. Thank you, all of you. I'm going to put the link for today's webinar at lunch. If you want to join in, we'd love to have you. I love everybody. Thank you for being here. Have a phenomenal day. Bye-bye.
Awesome
Bye,
day.
everyone. See you
See you
tomorrow.
on Friday. All right. And you'll see
Thank you.
Andrea tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.